Hi everyone, it's the 25th of November, which means it's now Oxmas. So we're now on to 7th week, and Oxmas is what you'd call Oxford Christmas. So we're not in Oxford when Christmas rolls around, so we celebrate it a month early on the 25th of November. People take this varying degrees of seriously. Me and my friends have bought ourselves and our college children advent calendars for Oxmas. You can kind of take it as you will, really. It's quite a light-hearted, fun sort of event. We're going to have a meal in college, Christmas dinner this weekend, and we're going to have a present exchange in our friendship groups. We've done a Secret Santa too. So this also means that term is drawing to a close. Now I've kind of got mixed feelings about this. It's been a really intense term. It's been a lot of things to take in at once, but I've really enjoyed it at the same time. It's been really lovely getting to know a whole new year group at Lincoln. So the freshers who have come in this year have been a really nice bunch. This term has involved a lot of trying to get to know them, help them feel settled in, and that's made me feel really great because Lincoln is such a friendly college, and seeing it through someone else's eyes as well is really nice. It's also brought with it me trying to study for my finals, so that's quite a new experience too. I've had to adjust to an increased workload, a different type of work, and also new tutors and things as well. So even though I've been here for a year, the tutors that I've got this term and my teachers, everyone is completely different. So it's an adjustment process for everyone, I guess. And something that's worth stressing is even if you've been in Oxford for a year and have been through lots of different experiences in that year, having to deal with homesickness maybe, having to adjust to the pressure of Oxford, every term brings with it its new challenges, so you're always kind of kept on your toes, and that's kind of part of the thrill and the appeal of Oxford. So there's been a lot of things going on this term. I've also taken a lot upon myself. I'm doing a radio project, so every now and again I'll have to do some interviews for that and compile a podcast. So that's been really rewarding too, and I've met some new people through that. I've also obviously been doing Oxvlog, which has been great. It was so nice to meet up with the other Oxvloggers for dinner a couple of weeks ago, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up soon for another social. This term was also not quite involved as much going out as I'd anticipated. So I think second year is kind of hyped up by quite a lot of humanities students as the year where they do less work and they're given a chance to explore new things like drama and arts and going out, and there's a lot more free time with it, and I kind of underestimated the fact that I was actually going to have a ton of work this term. So there's been less of that, but I think it means that when I do get to go out clubbing, or when I do get to go on a crew date like I went out on Monday, which was great, I really do appreciate it, and it feels like a real break. So I think going out less kind of has made me appreciate that more. I still like to go out when I can, and sometimes it's just nice to have a night in, so it's a good mixture of having tea and going to see films and things, as well as going out clubbing every now and again. So yeah, I feel like striking that balance is quite important for me. So it might be useful to talk a little bit about interviews. So around this anyone who has applied to Oxford will be finding out if they've done admissions test, how those went. This brings back memories of when I did my MLAT and my ELAT. So that was 2 years ago for me now. So that's a really distant memory. But yeah, the thing I want to stress there is even if your result is lower than expected, or perhaps you were hoping for an interview and might not have got called to interview, just bear in mind this is not a personal reflection on you in any shape or form. I very much took the outcome to be, if I don't get this, this is seriously saying that I'm bad at my subject, or that I don't deserve a place, or that I shouldn't be aiming to study somewhere as prestigious as Oxford. Really don't think that it's a reflection on you. The process is done in such a way that it's really quite stressful, and you constantly feel like you're being pitted up against other people. Are sometimes made to feel like a single grade or a single admissions test kind of determines your entire future. And it's just important to note that Oxford, whilst it is great and I've had the most amazing time here so far, is not the be all and end all. It's incredibly academically driven and pressured, and that's not going to suit everyone, and people will come here and then end up realising that and might have to move elsewhere. And so if you don't get an offer for interview, or if you don't get an offer further down the line, I just want to stress that it's a single point in life, and there's so many different things that you could get to do, and so many other universities that provide so many great experiences. Simon, Jamie, and previous Oxvloggers have done so many videos about that. So I'll find as many as I can and link them below, because they put this in a way that my random ramblings are not going to really be able to convey. Stay as calm as you can if you do end up going to interview. This is something I really struggled with. Easier said than done. I'd say ways to go about trying to stay calm. Do things that relax you. So for me, like going out and having a walk through the city was really nice, getting a coffee. I also had some mindfulness podcasts that I saved on my phone. So before my interviews in the morning, I'd sit and I'd go through these podcasts and just breathe deeply, get dressed, go to hall breakfast, like things like that, just getting into a bit of a routine if you're here for a couple of days. I was actually here for like 5 days or something ridiculous like that. I was here for quite a while. And so it's very important to stay calm the whole time you're here and try not to overthink how they've gone afterwards as well. I remember coming out and analysing everything I'd said, thinking, oh my goodness, I wish I hadn't said that, or that sounds so stupid. Honestly, what you say in the moment is just how you're going to think on the spot. I've said things in my own tutorials that I've regretted saying or thought, oh no, that totally wasn't right. Like, really don't worry about it. Once you've come out, try your best to enjoy the rest of the day and not over-assess what's happened, because it's done. Advice for interviews themselves, it's really not about what you know. They're not trying to tick off a box of, oh, she can recite that equation, or oh, she can do this. It's very much how you think, how you approach a problem, and especially how you cope with what you don't know. So if an interview was kind of like an A-level exam or something like that, it'd very much be, this is your syllabus, how much of this can you remember, how much of this can you recite back to us? It's not like that at all. Oxford interviews are completely different, and that's why quite a lot of people feel quite daunted by them. There are ways of preparing, but in a way, the best thing that you can do is just mock interviews, I guess, thinking about your subject, thinking about the issues you've explored on your personal statement, and to a certain extent, just leaving it there, because doing endless amounts of preparation isn't really going to help in the long run. You don't know what questions you're going to get, you don't know what they're going to ask you about, so just doing as best you can and accepting that it's very much a test of just how you cope at the moment. So don't worry too much if you can. It's really difficult, and I remember I got really het up. Enjoy your time here in Oxford. Like, it's one of the few times where you'll get to be here for a couple of days, not as a student, not under pressure, and make the most of your student helpers as well. So every college has a team of student helpers who are there specifically to answer your questions, show you around, and make you feel more settled. So if you come to Lincoln, a couple of my friends are going to be helping out. Feel free to just chat to them about whatever. They've been through interviews themselves, so if you're worried about those, just make sure you just raise it with someone. Thinking about any other more general advice that I'd give for dealing with new terms and new experiences, I think something that I've very much taken from this term, if I could say one thing, is not only to be easier on myself, but also to take things one step at a time. I'm very, very good at getting overwhelmed when I see how many things I've got to get done in a single day and thinking, there's no way I can do any of this, I'm going to panic, I don't know what I'm going to do. Breaking things down into, okay, this hour I need to go put my laundry in, I'm going to go and pick up this book from the library, come back to my room and have a coffee. Just having those sort of things planned out and not thinking too long term, but just doing what you can in a given day, like realising that that's enough. And you don't have to do everything or be everything to everyone as well. I think the welfare role is quite difficult to juggle with everything else because you're trying to be there for everyone. It's the main thing I've taken from this term. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of term. I hope you enjoy Christmas, and if you're coming up to interviews, I hope you enjoy the Christmas markets in Oxford. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time. Bye.